Chris Eskew with Eskew Law here with Benjamin Jaffe, another criminal defense attorney here. We're going to talk a little bit about courtroom decorum and things that aren't necessarily legal related, but things, some tips for courtrooms. Before we get started, this is the second time we shot this video.
Yes.
The first time we shot it was with a different camera, and Ben and I are both the same height, but in this video, Ben looked like some weird Lord of the Rings depth perception Hobbit-looking thing about a quarter of my size. It was hilarious, and hopefully Kelly can put a screenshot of that in here in this video. And also, when we recorded that, like that was the same day that the video broke of the guy on the Zoom pre-trial for his driving while license suspended with a suspended license.
Yes. That hasn't happened.
Don't do that.
Yeah. But that is sort of, that can lead into sort of what we're talking about here. Just self-awareness is important. You know, when you're, even if he thought he was able to drive or whatever, he knows he's appearing in court.
Apparently there was some issues with the BMV out there, and he shouldn't have been suspended. But regardless,
but again,
be aware of what you're there for. You're always being judged.
Yes.
Regarding clothes, what would you recommend somebody wear to court?
I mean, I obviously think that people should err on the side of being pretty conservative about how they're dressing. You know, I tell people you don't need to put on a show. You don't need to certainly dress as if you're going to some, fancy ball. That, kind of takes it a little too far in the other direction. But, having a button-up shirt or, a polo on, no one's going to complain about that if you're going to the pre-trial. It could be a little different if you're going to the trial. Yeah, the trial, I prefer suits, but I mean, we've talked to a lot of clients, and if you're not comfortable in a suit, it's not who you are, especially a trial. I think it's very important that jurors believe that you are who you're presenting to be. So they believe your testimony, especially if you're testifying or people are testifying on your behalf. A pre-trial is less important, but I mean, judges do want to see that you're respectful of the process and them and what's going on. So I agree. Dress probably with a collar, definitely with pants, not sandals and shorts. But I mean, other tips. I mean, I've had someone show up to an OBWI pre-trial in a Bud Light t-shirt. Is it illegal? No. Is he right to do that? Yes. Is that really a good idea? Probably not. Yeah.
Probably didn't think about it at the time, but this is way back. But
self-awareness, where you're going, why you're going there, it kind of matters. As far as, like I said, it's fairly relaxed pre-trials and things of that nature. In a trial, I tell people, look like you're trying to make an impression, but not look like you're trying to, be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Talking to the bench, it's always important. Say yes or no. Speak up. Don't yell. Don't get emotional. Just answer the questions that you're asked. Say yes, sir, if you want. Yes, your honor. Yes, judge. Any of that is fine. But you're also, as we said, you're always being judged. So make sure you speak up and speaking clearly and answering the questions that are asked.
It's not uncommon for judges to mention, how someone's presented themselves. I've had a lot of judges say, you've been in here several times. You're always respectful. You always, present like you appreciate kind of what's going on and why you're here. You're not thumbing your nose at this. And if I make an argument later on, my client's taking it seriously. My client is going to be respectful of whatever conditions are put in place. If there is a sentence or something like that, or if I'm asking for some consideration, it's nice to have a judge who can look at it and say, I think this person takes it seriously in general. And there are small things you can do to assist in that regard that I think people need to pay attention to.
Yeah. And don't argue with opposing counsel or the judge. Just answer the question. Most likely your attorney will be able to clean things up if they think it's important. And a lot of times things that are important to clients, I'm not saying they're not important, but for that particular hearing, it may not matter too much to the judge and can cause more problems than harm.
Yeah. Those things.
More problems than good.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Hopefully they do as well. Again, these are just general ideas about how you present yourself in court. A lot of it is sort of common sense, but we talk about this because it's not always common sense to everyone.
Be on time, dress appropriate, let your lawyer do most of the talking,
That's a great summary.
Get back out.